Rockin 101, it's Tim Ryan. On the phone with me is Mike Orlando of the band Adrenaline Mob. How's it going tonight, Mike?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you, Tim.
Likewise as well. You've got a brand new album out, the band Men of Honor. You want to tell me a little bit about the new CD?
Sure. New album from Adrenaline Mob. It's our second original release, and we're super psyched about it. It's a real song-oriented, groove-oriented, big-sounding album. Hard rock, some ballads in there, some real heavy stuff, some real great performances from everybody, and especially our new addition, Mr. AJ Piero on the drums.
You beat me to the punch on that one. Obviously, your first album, Omerta, came out in 2012. You've had some lineup changes since that time. AJ Piero, obviously, Twisted Sister fame, in the fold now. Was he part of the recording of the new album, or was that kind of started before he kind of came into the fold?
No, as a matter of fact, after the last tour that we did with Hailstorm over in South America last June, after we came home, I just went into the studio and went nuts and stayed 3-4 weeks, locked myself in the room and tracked everything. We did all the writing and got everything out of the way. And then when it was time to come and lay down the actual real drum tracks, tried a few people, kind of didn't really work. So, I'm buddies with AJ for 20 years. We play in multiple bands, and we play in another band right now as well. And I just kind of called him up as hey, man, come over and try, lay a track down for me. It was actually a bonus track that wasn't even on the album. It's called Get You Through the Night. And I'm not sure where it's actually going to surface, but it's a really cool up-tempo rock song. And he just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he's amazing. He's got chops for days, AJ. It's just incredible, but his groove as well is just so rock solid, like a tank.
With all the ties from prior groups and stuff as well, I imagine it was a pretty comfortable fit for you. Can imagine that makes a huge difference as far as the chemistry of the band as well. Oh, yeah. Well, like I say, I mean, I've not only been so close, best friends with AJ for probably 20 years on and off, and playing in so many different, musical endeavors together. We are also, like I said, we are in another band at this given time. So, yeah, we've been tied together musically for so long. I make a left, AJ makes a left. Before I even think of making a right, he's made the right, and he's like, "I gotcha," So it's really cool, and it's great on so many levels because we're such great friends, and he's a really cool guy, and everybody loves him, and the chemistry was instantaneous. How difficult is it to kind of find time between the one band and Adrenaline Mob?
Well, Adrenaline Mob is that's the Titanic that's just set sail. So, that's what we're definitely, right now, that's what we're doing, and that is the top priority. I do also have another band with AJ, as you know, and it's entitled Tread, and it's myself and AJ Piero and Rudy Sarzo and Tim Owens on vocals, and been working on that for a little bit now. So tough because the Adrenaline Mob thing is in full effect. Even when we weren't touring last year, it's like right back into the studio, pre-production, writing, just months and months of doing it. So, but yeah, it's easy to split them up because, like I said, we're still finishing up that other album. Whereas this is just, like I say, full steam ahead already. So especially with everybody in the group, it's a real great time. John Moyer's on hiatus from Disturbed, so, we have great availability there. Russell, the same with Symphony X. They're in a complete, their touring cycle is over, so it worked out really great this year.
Yeah, that's actually a couple of pretty incredible lineups right there for both bands.
Yeah, I'm honored to be, surrounded by such great musicians, not only with John and Russell and AJ in Adrenaline Mob, obviously with Rudy Sarzo and Tim Owens. I mean, Rudy is one of the greatest bass players and legends in the rock industry, and Tim is just one of the greatest metal vocalists out there. So I'm really honored and just excited to be doing everything.
With Adrenaline Mob, you and Russell, along with Mike, obviously Portnoy was part of the original fold of the group as far as the founders. You and Russell are primarily kind of the songwriters of the group then?
We are the only songwriters.
Okay.
You know, the band was started, founded by myself. I've been working on it before I even met Russell, so had been years in effect, and then brought all the music that I've been working on to Russ, and me and Russ, you know, once we solidified that we were going to work on this project, I brought him this whole album of the material way back when Omerta was, before it was Omerta, and kind of became Omerta. And when I joined in with Russ on that type of material that I had been working on for a while, that became Omerta, and that became Adrenaline Mob, and we tailor-made it to, you know, for the both of us. But Mike Portnoy came in after the album was completely recorded. Russell's, all his vocal tracks were done, all my guitar tracks were done. I played the bass on the album. Yeah, the drums came afterwards. So, and the same thing with the Men of Honor. It's you know, I handle all the writing of the music and the drums and bass and guitar, and then I go over to Russ's and we sit down and I go, hey man, these are all the tracks I got, and these are the vocal ideas I got, and all the lyrics that I got, and boom, 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 and we sit there and we complete an album. We put the puzzles together.
And checking out the album Men of Honor, it sounds like that formula works very well.
Yeah, you know, me and Russ got a great working relationship together. I mean, we've been doing it for so long now. Like I said before, I brought him what turned into Omerta. We had been writing together for 3 years on something completely different. So honing the way you work with someone, you know, you just get used to someone, and you know, you really develop being on the same page, and it really does work great. You know, the Men of Honor sessions went so quickly. Like I say, the first time I showed up at Russell's house, I had 10 to 13, all the way up to 17 tracks of full music with just all the drums, bass, guitar done, and it was like, and he was just like, all right, Mikey, let's go, you know, and he knew right there, it was just like, we were on the same page, so it was such a great time. We just banged right through it. Like I said, Russ is incredible, one of the greatest singers in rock today. Amazing. So
definitely has the pipes, that's for sure. From Omerta, you released another album actually called Caverta, which was a covers release. Was that something that kind of the whole group decided these are some of our favorite tracks that let's record some of those and put them on an album?
Yeah.
How did that kind of evolve?
Sure. It actually came together from our manager. We had a new manager at that time, and he had presented us the idea because we were about to go out on tour, and it was just a great idea to give something to the fans that's, you know, really cool. So we were like, yeah, I mean, we all love being in the studio. We hopped into my Sonic Stomp studios where we do everything and just banged it out. It was really easy because some of the stuff we had been doing live, we've always done mob rules. We've always done stand up and shout since the first gig. And tracks like Kill the King and High Wire, me and Russ have been doing together before Adrenaline Mob was even a thought, when we were just jamming together. So, and then everybody throws their pick in the hat. You know, I threw in Break On Through. I'm a big Doors fan, and Russell threw in Lemon Song, and Mike threw in Barracuda and Romeo's the Light. And, you know, it was just real easy. It was like, hey man, let's pay homage to some of the greatest rock bands out there.
Influences and such as well?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know, right off the bat, you know, Jake Ely's one of my favorite guitar players. So it's like instantaneously. And then you got Ronnie James Dio is one of the greatest, probably the greatest rock vocalist ever. So that was a no-brainer. Rainbow, you know, his Black Sabbath era, and then his solo material. So yeah, I mean, across the board, Led Zeppelin, you know, the mighty Led Zeppelin, and
absolutely,
yeah, Van Halen. I mean, Eddie Van Halen. What rock guitar player doesn't love King Edward? You know, so it's again, it was just a blast. It was like, yeah, okay, everything we rattled off was like, oh yeah, sure, great, let's get right to work.
And from the studio to the road, now that the new album Men of Honor is out, any plans on doing some big touring, or maybe some just one-off shows
Yeah.
here and there, building up to something a little bigger down the road here shortly?
Yeah, we definitely, we're planning a big North American run right now. We're probably going to be looking at like 35 to 40 cities, and we want to hit the road late May. Want the album to come out. We want it to grow a little legs, and just want the proper time to get everything, in order and push the dates and let everyone know we're coming. So we just want to do it the right way, and but we're super psyched to get out, and we want to go back to Europe and back to South America. I mean, there's just so many things that we want to do, and hopefully we can hit everything.
And hopefully Minnesota is in those touring plans.
I hope so, man. And again, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure talking shop with you, and thanks for the great support.
All right, Mike Orlando of Adrenaline Mob. Thank you very much.